Okay, so here's something that I think literally every woman I know has experienced at least once. Guy is super into you, texting constantly, making plans, saying all the right things, and then the second things get intimate or official, he just vanishes.
The classic pullback. Yeah, it's one of those patterns that's so common people treat it like a law of nature.
Right. And here's what got me thinking about this. There's actual neuroscience behind it. After a man experiences a dopamine spike, like from a new sexual encounter, or even just the thrill of the chase paying off, dopamine levels drop. And that drop can literally feel like a loss of interest.
Okay, but I want to be careful here. Because that framing kind of lets men off the hook, right? Like, oh, it's just brain chemistry, can't help it.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the biology is real, but what you do with it is a choice.
Fair. That's an important distinction.
But here's the thing that blew my mind. There was a study, I think it was published in Archives of Sexual Behavior, that found men's testosterone actually drops after entering committed relationships. And some researchers think that hormonal shift triggers a kind of subconscious panic.
Wait, seriously? Like their body is chemically resisting commitment?
That's one interpretation. The testosterone drop is associated with pair bonding and nurturing behavior, but if a guy isn't emotionally ready for that, his brain might interpret it as something being wrong.
That's wild. But I'd push back on making this purely biological, because I think a huge part of this is socialization.
How so?
Men are taught from a very young age that vulnerability is weakness, that emotional closeness is dangerous. So when intimacy happens, real intimacy, not just physical, it triggers this deep discomfort they were never given tools to process.
Okay, yeah, I actually agree with that completely. The chase is safe because it's performative. You're playing a role. But once you get what you wanted, now you have to actually show up as yourself.
Exactly. And showing up as yourself requires emotional literacy that a lot of men simply weren't taught.
Which is sad, honestly. Because I don't think most of these guys are thinking I got what I wanted, peace out. I think a lot of them are genuinely confused by their own behavior.
See, this is where I might disagree with you a little.
Oh?
I think some of them absolutely know what they're doing. Not all, but there's a subset of men who are very deliberately playing a game. They know the playbook. Be attentive, be charming, escalate, and then once the conquest is complete, move on.
You think it's that calculated, though? Like fully conscious?
For some, absolutely. There's an entire internet subculture built around optimizing exactly that pattern.
Ugh, yeah. The pickup artist world. That's a whole different conversation, though. I'm more interested in the guys who aren't doing it on purpose but keep repeating the pattern.
Right. So let's talk attachment theory then, because I think that's the real framework here.
Yes, avoidant attachment. This is like the explanation.
So, for people who aren't familiar, attachment theory says we develop patterns in childhood based on how our caregivers responded to our needs. Avoidant attachment forms when a child learns that expressing need leads to rejection or being ignored.
And as adults, those people crave connection. But the second they actually get it, their nervous system goes into threat mode. Closeness equals danger.
Which creates this awful push-pull dynamic. They pursue you when there's distance and retreat the moment there's closeness.
And here's the kicker. Research suggests that roughly 25% of the population has an avoidant attachment style. That's 1 in 4 people.
1 in 4. And because avoidant people cycle through relationships faster, they're disproportionately represented in the dating pool.
Oh man, that's such a good point. The securely attached people get locked down. The avoidants keep recycling back into the market.
Exactly. So if you're dating and this keeps happening to you, it might not be something you're doing wrong. You might just be encountering the same attachment style over and over.
Now here's where I want to say something maybe controversial.
Go for it.
I don't think this is exclusively a male thing. I think women pull away too. We just frame it differently and talk about it less.
I'd push back on that, not on whether women do it, because they absolutely can, but on the scale. The pattern is disproportionately male. Men are socialized into emotional avoidance in a way women generally aren't.
That's fair. The conditioning is different. Boys don't cry, be a man, all of that.
And there's a sexual dimension too. Society still frames male sexuality as conquest-oriented. You score, you win. That framing inherently devalues what comes after.
God, that's depressing when you put it that way. Because the after is where the actual relationship lives.
Right, the after is the whole point.
So what do we actually tell someone who's going through this? Like your person just pulled away and you're sitting there wondering what you did wrong.
First thing, and I cannot stress this enough, it is almost never about you. His withdrawal is about his internal world, not your worth.
100%. And second, I'd say don't chase. The worst thing you can do with an avoidant person is pursue harder, because it confirms their fear that closeness means losing autonomy.
That's good advice. Give space, but also set a boundary. Space is fine, but indefinite silence isn't a relationship.
Yes, there's a difference between giving someone room to breathe and letting someone treat you like an option.
And honestly, the deeper answer is that this stuff often requires therapy. Avoidant patterns don't just resolve because someone points them out. It takes real work.
Which brings us back to the bigger picture. This isn't really about one bad guy or one heartbreak. It's about how we raise boys, how we talk about masculinity, and whether we give men permission to be emotionally whole.
Yeah, I think we actually agree on the core thing here. The pulling away isn't just a dating problem. It's a symptom of something much bigger that starts way before any relationship does.
And until we fix that upstream, people are going to keep sitting by their phones wondering why someone who seemed so into them just disappeared.
Which means the real question isn't why do men pull away? It's why do we keep building men who don't know how to stay?